Sir.
Hello everybody. Today I will give you the introduction of some of the components which we will use in the electrical technology lab. I will show you how to connect them in the circuits and I will tell you the functions of those components one by one. First, to our electrical technology lab, the single phase supply what we are getting is 230 volts RMS voltage and 50 Hz supply. If you see in the lab, you will find a 3-pin plug like this. A 3-pin plug you will find there in the lab. So if you observe this 3-pin plug properly, what you observe is the first pin here. If you observe clearly on this, you will find a letter is written L, and if the second one, it is written that it is N. The third pin, if you observe, it is written, there is a symbol like this. You will find this symbol on this third pin of this plug. So one pin it is written L, and the second pin it is written N. On the third pin it is a symbol is there. This symbol is nothing but ground. Here L means live, N means neutral. Now I will tell you what are the functions of these 3 pins. Let me take a circuit. For this circuit, assume you need a supply of 230 volts AC. We will connect the single phase AC supply as shown in the board. On this, these two terminals, one is line, other is neutral. So now this is line and this is neutral. Now the question is, where we will connect this earth pin, or where we will connect this ground pin. If you take any equipment such as TV or any electronic equipment, all the circuits were covered by a covering. You can say it's simply a cover. For example, if we take the TV, you will have the circuit in the TV, and around that you will find the cover. So that cover is called body. This cover is called body. This third pin, that is earth pin, it will go to the body of any equipment. The function of this earth pin is, for example, because of some mechanisms, there is a charge stored on the surface of any object. If it happens, what happens is, if there is no third pin or if there is no earth pin, if we touch those objects, so we will get an electric shock. Because the static charge which is stored on the surface of the object, it will travel through us, and so we will get an electric shock. If we have this third pin connected to the body of the equipment, then what happens is, the charge which is stored on the body of any electrical equipment, it will travel through this third pin that is going to the ground. So not only the equipments but also the person who is handling that equipment, he will be saved. So that is the function of your third pin in that 3-pin plug. Next, so I will show you some of the carbon resistors. If you see any resistor in the lab, carbon resistor, it will be like this. The resistor is, this is a carbon resistor you will find in the ET lab. If you observe this resistor properly, so you will find some of the colors, some colors on this resistor. Each color will have a significant number. This color coding will give you the value of the resistance of this resistor. So it has a formula, or you can say it has a sequence that you will study in the second module of your electrical technology subject. From that, there you will find a code is there, color code. You will get the knowledge about this resistance. Now, in a circuit, when you want to choose a resistor, we are going to do an experiment in the ET lab. For that, you need a resistor. Among all the resistors, how do you choose a resistor? To choose a resistor, we need two electrical specifications. First one is its resistance value, and second one is its power rating. Here, resistance, power rating. For example, you are doing an experiment in the ET lab and its circuit is as shown in the figure. A 5 volts battery is there and a 1 kilo ohm resistor is connected to that. Before choosing a resistor, we should calculate theoretically what is the power dissipation in our resistor. If you see this figure, 5 volts is connected across a 1 kilo ohm resistor. The power here is V square by R, that is equal to 5 square by 1K, that gives 25 milliwatt. So, in our experiment, we came to know that the power dissipation in our resistor is 25 milliwatt. So, based upon these two values, one is resistance value, other is the power dissipation in the resistor. Based upon these two values, we will choose the resistor. Now, in our lab, we have the resistors such as two resistors I am showing here now. The above one is 1 watt resistor, that is, which is a light green in color. It is 1 watt resistor. The below one, which is yellow color, it is half watt resistor. The meaning of this power rating is, for example, you came to know that the power dissipation in the resistor in the circuit is say 2 watts. If it is 2 watts, you cannot use 1 watt resistor. If you use 1 watt resistor, what happens is that resistor cannot dissipate 2 watt power, so it will burn or it will get damaged. So the important thing is, when you are choosing a resistor, you should calculate what is the power dissipation in that resistor theoretically. After calculating that, depends upon the answer what you got here. In case you got 25 milliwatt, depends upon this power, you should choose the resistor. After this, now I will explain about the inductor. This is an inductor. If you see this, you will find this in our lab. If you observe this inductor properly, this inductor has two terminals here. One you will find in black color terminal, other is red terminal. You will use these two terminals to connect in the circuit. If you observe this inductor properly, you will find something frame like this. This is a frame. You will find a frame here. This frame is called magnetic core. And around this frame, you will find a windings which are not visible here now. There are some windings which wound around this core. I will draw this figure on the board. This is the inductor. This is the inductor symbol. Here, this frame, there is a frame here. This is called magnetic core. These are the windings. Now I will tell you how do you select a inductor for your particular experiment. When you are choosing an experiment, when you are doing an experiment and when you are going to choose an inductor in that experiment, you should concentrate on two electrical parameters. One is its inductance value, second is its current value. These are the two parameters you should concentrate when you are going to choose an inductor. This saturation current, the meaning of this is, for example, there is an inductor with specifications 2 Henry and 5 ampere. There is an inductor with specifications 2 Henry and 5 ampere. This 2 Henry is its inductance value. This 5 ampere is its saturation current. What is the meaning of this saturation current? For example, you are using this inductor with 2 Henry and 5 ampere rating in your circuit, and if some current is flowing that is more than 5 ampere, then the inductor will go into saturation region. If it goes into the saturation region, then this inductor will get damaged, or you can say the windings will get burned. Means something bad will happen to that inductor. So it is very important when you are choosing an inductor, you should concentrate on these two parameters. One is its inductance value, other is its current rating. Next, I will show you a capacitor. This is a capacitor which you are using in the ET lab. Here it is written that its value is 72 microfarad and it is written 440 volts. When you need a capacitor in your circuit, you need to concentrate on two parameters. One is its capacitance value and second is its breakdown voltage. The meaning of this breakdown voltage is, for example, if you are using this capacitor in any circuit and if the voltage across the capacitor in the circuit is more than 440 volts, then what happens is the dielectric which is present in the capacitor, this one, These are the two plates of your capacitor and this is the dielectric present between these two. If you apply a voltage which is more than 440 volts, this dielectric will break and it will no more will act as a capacitor. This capacitor will get damaged. So when you are choosing a capacitor, you should concentrate on two electrical parameters. One is its capacitance value, second is its breakdown voltage. Next, I will explain you one important element that is called rheostat. The thing what you are looking here, it is called resistor. If you observe this resistor properly or this rheostat properly, you will find three terminals. Here is one terminal, first terminal, second terminal, and there is a third terminal. These two terminals we will call as fixed terminals and this is called a movable terminal. In this figure, F1, F2, these are the fixed terminals. This M, it is the movable terminal. Now, if you see the specifications of this particular rheostat, what you will find is it is written amps 1.5, ohms 350. The function of your rheostat in the lab is, it will give you different values of resistances. In some experiments, you need to conduct the experiment such that you have to change the value of resistance step by step. So in those cases, you will use this rheostat. If you see the specifications of this rheostat, you will find that it is 350 ohm it is written and 1.5 ampere it is written. The meaning of this is, this rheostat, this particular rheostat will have the resistance, will provide you the resistance of maximum 350 ohm. So you can change the resistance value from 0 to 350 ohm. And one important thing is, here it is written 1.5 ampere. The meaning of this is, whatever may be the value of the resistance, the current in the rheostat should not exceed 1.5 ampere. If it exceeds 1.5 ampere, the rheostat will get heated and it will get damaged. Now, when you want to change the resistance value by using this rheostat, for example, let me take a circuit here. In this circuit, you are giving 230 volts and 50 Hz to your rheostat, 350 ohm and 1.5 ampere. Now you want to change the value of rheostat every time. So how do you connect that rheostat in this experiment? If you see the rheostat, you have three terminals like this, F1, F2, M. Here in this circuit, you have two terminals. This first one, second one. Among these three terminals, which two terminals you will choose here? That is the question. You will choose among these two, between these two, one is M. take M. And second one is either F1 or F2. What happens if you connect here F1 and here F2? If you connect here F1 and here F2, you cannot change the value of the resistance. If you connect here F1, F2, the value of this resistance is its maximum value, that is 350 ohm. So if you want to have the variable values of resistances, definitely one terminal should be M and the other is either F1 or F2.